My dear students, today I am going to deal with the important topic, very interesting, and that is nothing but genetics. Okay, what is genetics? Genetics is nothing but the study of inheritance. Then inheritance means what? Inheritance means it is the transfer of characters from one generation to another generation. What do you mean by that? So, in other words, the transfer of characters from parents to offsprings. Because of that, the offsprings resemble their parents. So, why they resemble their parents? Because some factors, of course, in modern genetics we call them as genes. So, in Mendel's time, Mendel was unaware of the term gene, so he used the term factor, and he called the factors, they are transferred from parents to offsprings. This sort of study is called as the inheritance, and this study of inheritance, the branch of biology that deals with the study of inheritance, is called as genetics. Okay, and this genetics was first discovered by a scientist, well known, it is already known by all biologists. So that the name of the scientist is Gregor John Mendel, who born in 1922 and died in the year 1984. So, but he was known because of his excellent work done in the garden peas, Pisum sativum, commonly called as sweet peas, and he did the wonderful work, and he gave the idea regarding the principles of inheritance. That's why Gregor John Mendel is always called as the father of genetics. Okay, another problem comes here, a curiosity comes, why Mendel selected only the garden peas? There are so many reasons for that. Reason number one is garden pea plant is the annual plant because it completes its life cycle within 1 year, so that the study can be done very successfully. And if we had selected the perennial plant which lives for many years, so the study of characters and maintenance of the records becomes the problem. So that is the main reason for selecting the garden peas. Second reason is the garden pea plant is self-pollinated, and the third thing is the garden pea plant flowers are very big and it is very easy to hybridize. For hybridization, it is very easy. So, and garden pea plants had so many variations, contrasting characters. So, actually Mendel observed 7 contrasting characters in that. So, because of all these reasons, Mendel selected the garden pea plants. So, what are the different types of contrasting characters? Character number 1 is height of the plant. First one is height. Height of the plant. Of course, there was a very contrasting thing. One plant is very tall and another plant is dwarf. So these are the two contrasting characters, that is as far as the height is concerned. Second is color of the flower. That is color of the flower is yellow and green, and color of the seed, shape of the seed, position of the inflorescence, shape of the pod, that is the fruits. So like this, so many characters were identified, and these are called as contrasting characters as far as the garden peas are concerned. But the most important thing is Mendel was very experienced and he was very expert in maintaining the records. Whatever he got the records, whatever he got the results during his crossing work, so that particular records were meticulously recorded, and those records were useful for him for consolidation of his work. So because of that only Mendel is successful in giving the idea regarding the inheritance. Okay, what actually Mendel did during his tenure of work? Mendel crossed the different characters or the different garden page having contrasting characters. Okay, we know already what is crossing. Crossing means it is the transfer of pollen grains mechanically, or in other words by human beings. So artificially, the transfer of characters from one flower to the stigma of another flower. This is called as hybridization technique. So we select a desired plant from which we need some characters. So those plants are selected and the pollen grains are taken from the plant, and those pollen grains are again put in on the stigma of another same variety or same species, and the stigma of that plant will receive the pollen grains and we can see the inheritance. So this is actually what Mendel did during his experiments. Okay, what actually Mendel did during his experiment is, he first Mendel worked. So he took one tall plant and crossed with a dwarf plant. Dwarf means short plant. He took one tall plant and crossed with a dwarf plant. When he crossed this, so these are the two different varieties. So this is tall is one contrasting character, and dwarf is one variety having the dwarf is one having the different character. When these two different plants are crossed, he used to call this one as F1 generation, first filial generation. So when he got the first filial generation, to his surprise, so when Mendel crossed a tall and dwarf plant, he was, of course, perhaps he must have expected the plant which is having the moderate height of a tall and dwarf plant, but that case was totally different. Actually, he got all the plants in F1 generation were tall. So all tall plants were tall, and he used to call this one as hybrid. It is called as hybrid plant. This is the hybrid. Hybrid means the plant which is produced due to the crossing of two different varieties. So this is the hybrid plant. Okay, Mendel was not satisfied with this, and he took a F1 tall plant and crossed with again F1 tall plant. This is called as selfing. It is also called as selfing of the plants. So the plants which were obtained, of course, he got hundreds of plants in the F1 generation after the crossing of tall and dwarf plant. When tall plants of hybrid were available, so with curiosity, what will happen in the next generation? So that curiosity made him to cross F1 generation. So F1 generation plants were selfed, and to his surprise again, he got tall plant 3 and dwarf plant again in 1. So this particular thing was obtained, and that is called as tall and dwarf plants appeared in 3:1 ratio. So one thing we have to understand here, Mendel also made very clear, when the tall plant was crossed with the dwarf plant, so in the F1 generation all plants were tall, he called them as hybrid, and this F1 tall plant and F1 tall plants were selfed, so there was no dwarf plant in the parent here, but dwarf plant appeared in the F2 generation. It is called as F2 generation. Okay. So what is the reason for this? So then Mendel started thinking very, very meticulously, and he thought that, okay, in the tall, why the plant is tall? Mendel explained, and he gave the idea that the tall plant has got a factor in the cell which makes the plant to become tall. Dwarf plant means, the dwarf plant is also having the factor, and this factor makes the plant to grow dwarf. But in modern genetics nowadays, we call the factor as a gene. But Mendel was not aware of the term gene, because that time no microscope, no idea about the cell wall, no idea about the the cell organelles, no chromosome idea, so nothing. So because of that he called them as this one. But now, after the study of this, Mendel also studied, he studied this particular thing, and in this case we have observed that Mendel has taken only one contrast, only one factor. Only one factor means the contrasting character, that is height of the plant. In height of the plant, we have two contrasting characters. One is tall plant, another one is dwarf plant. But now Mendel, as we know, he was doubting, or he was thinking that so the tall plant is having a factor which is making the tall plant. So that he called the genotype. So now tall plant, this is very important, and this is the dwarf plant. Dwarf plant. Tall plant, this is called as parental generation 1, and tall plant is controlled by the two factors which is called as capital T and capital T. And dwarf plant is having a factor known as small t and small t. But now the gametes are produced here, and the gametes produced here are capital T1 and small t1. So when the hybridization was done, as we know, F1 plant is available, first filial generation was available, and first filial plant we call it as tall, all tall plant, we call it as hybrid, we know already. And in this plant, this is tall, this is also tall. Morphologically both are tall plants, but internally, so this plant is having the capital T and small t. It is not like the parental tall plant. This is the F1 tall plant, this is the parental tall plant. We shall come to that later afterwards. So this is tall plant, and in the F2 generation, so what it did was parental generation 2. So F1 tall plant was taken and selfed with the F1 tall plant. But we know the genotype. What is the genotype of this? That is capital T and small t, capital T and small t, to this one. But in this case, the gametes produced are capital T1 and small t1. But here we have taken only one because the similar gametes are there. We have taken only one. But here two different types of factors are there. So we have to take them two differently. So capital T and small t. So this plant is producing two types of gametes. This plant is producing two types of gametes here. But now we have to put the checkerboard. I will put a checkerboard, very small checkerboard here. So checkerboard, this is the type of putting the checkerboard here, only two things. And in the left hand corner, we have to write male gametes and female gamete. So you have to write here capital T and small t here, capital T and small t here. And we have to put 1, 2, 3 and 4 like this. This is called as the checkerboard. So in this checkerboard, what you have to do is, so you take this gene or this factor, multiply with this and write the product here. Take this, multiply with this and write the things here. So this is now coming as capital T, capital T. This is capital T, small t, capital T, small t and small t, small t. So these are the four types of plants available after selfing the F1 plants. F1 plants are selfed, and we are getting the four different types of plants. Now we are taking it as phenotypes. Phenotypes here. First plant. What is the first plant here? Capital T, capital T. Capital T means it is a tall plant. Tall plant. But now, one more important thing we have to remember here. Capital T, okay, the dominant gene is present, and capital T, small t is present here. That means when capital T is there, capital T is called as the dominant gene, and the dominant gene will never allow the expression of the recessive gene. So because of that, the plant is also tall. So this is also tall, this is tall, and this is also tall, capital T, small t. So totally, how many plants are available? 3 tall plants are available in the checkerboard. And secondly, the fourth plant is available here. There is no dominant gene at all, and because of the absence of dominant gene, we are calling this one as dwarf, because the plant will never grow tall, and this is 1. So this is called as the Mendel's cross. But one surprising thing is that Mendel called this particular cross as monohybrid cross. Why Mendel called this one as monohybrid cross? So a cross is conducted for only one character. Only one character means what? That is the height is a character. Only height is taken as a character for the crossing of the two plants, and since only one character is taken here, so this is called as a monohybrid cross, because only height is taken here. And if you take two things, dihybrid cross, we shall see in the next class. So this is called as tall plant and dwarf plant. So this is called as, so the ratio of monohybrid cross is 3:1 ratio. 3:1 ratio is available, and because of that, this particular thing is called as monohybrid cross. Okay. Now, we have to understand some more important phenomena here, some more what you call the notations or some technical terms we have to understand. So the technical terms are, first one is called as a gene. What is a gene? So gene is nothing but equivalent to the word factor used by Mendel, and nowadays in the modern genetics we are calling it as a gene. And gene is a particular thing present on the chromosome which is controlling a particular character in the organism. This is called as a gene. And then comes the locus, very important, locus, because these things will come again and again in the genetics topic. Locus means, for example, this is the chromosome. So for example, this is the chromosome. So in this chromosome, when the gene is present here, so this particular area, is called as the locus. Then what is the locus? Locus is nothing but it is the point on the chromosome where a particular gene is located. So a particular gene is present on this particular area, and that area is called as the locus of the point. Okay. Now, homozygous and heterozygous. What do you mean by that? Homozygous. So the meaning lies in the terminology itself. Homo means similar. So homozygous means, for example, this is called as homozygous. And how to call a particular plant as a homozygous? So here, a plant having the similar genes, that is called as the homozygous plant. And the plant which is having different types of genes, so this is called as the heterozygous. Homozygous plant and heterozygous plant. Okay. Now, dominant and recessive, very important. Dominant and recessive, we have seen here, capital T and small t, two types of genes are present in this cross. When the capital T, small t genes are present here, capital T gene is expressed in the F1 generation. Small t gene is suppressed, it will not be expressed in the F1 generation. We have seen that. So now, what is the dominant gene? Now we have to define it. So the definition of dominant gene is a gene which is expressed in the F1 generation, that is called as the dominant gene, and the gene which is suppressed, which will not be expressed in the F1 generation, that is called as the dominant and recessive. So that is the gene. These terms will come again and again. We have to observe them. Then genotype and phenotype. What is a genotype and phenotype? So first we have to understand what is phenotype. Phenotype means morphological appearance. Take this example only. In this particular class, we are observing the plant. We are calling this plant is tall. So physically we are observing the plant. And we call this plant is a dwarf plant. Okay, physically we are observing. And in botanical term we are called as morphology. Morphological character is called as the phenotype. So whenever we call this plant is tall, this animal is black, this animal is white, we are observing the morphological character. So whatever the morphological characters are observed on the organism are called as the morphological characters, that is the phenotype. Okay. For phenotype, something is present inside according to Mendel. So factors are present inside the plant body which create the phenotype. And these are not externally observed. Genotypes are not externally observed, so they are present inside the plant. Of course, nowadays we can call them as these are the genes present on the chromosome, and these particular things are called as genotypes. Genotype. See, phenotype means it is the morphological character. Genotype means it is the genetic content of the organism. Genetic content means what? Genetic content means these are the factors existing on the chromosomes. So this is called as genotype and phenotype. And the most important thing is again monohybrid cross and dihybrid cross. A cross which is conducted for only one contrasting character, two pair of contrasting character, or only one factor, that is called as the monohybrid cross. Here this is monohybrid cross because we have taken only one character, that is the height. We have not taken the color of the seed or color of the flower or color of the seed coat or shape of the seed coat, or we have not taken any into account. We have concentrated only on the height of the plant. That is why it is called as the monohybrid cross. Then dihybrid cross is the one where the two characters are taken at a time. So this particular cross we shall see in the next class. So two characters are taken simultaneously for observing. So this is called as the dihybrid cross. So one thing. Second is a very important thing is test cross. We shall see it afterwards. Now, before that we have to understand laws of Mendel. Very important. Usually it will be asked in the examination. Laws of Mendel. Mendel, on the basis of his work, on the basis of his findings, on the basis of his conclusion, on his crossing work done on the garden pea plants, he formulated two laws. Two laws are formulated by Mendel. First law of Mendel and second law of Mendel. So what is first law of Mendel? First law of Mendel is called as law of segregation. Is called as law of segregation. The term or the meaning of the law lies in the terminology itself. Law means we know what is law. Segregation means what? Segregation means separation. Law of segregation of gametes. Law of segregation of gametes, or simply you can call it as law of segregation. What he says? So whenever the factors for two or more contrasting characters are brought together in a hybrid. So for example, we are calling this one as a hybrid. In this hybrid, the factors for two characters are brought. Capital T is one factor from the tall plant. Small t is one factor came from the dwarf plant. So one character from the tall parent, one character from the dwarf parent have come and they are present in the hybrid plant now. Okay. When these factors are present together, whether it is permanent association, Mendel says no. So the factors for one or two contrasting characters are brought together in a hybrid, they segregate. They will never be permanently held together. They are temporarily present, but when a time comes, they separate from one another. That means when they separate, so this is called as segregation. Okay, when do they separate? So the separation is at the formation, during the formation of gametes. So for example, you can see here, the capital T, small t came here when the gamete formation is happening. So capital T goes to one gamete, small t goes to another gamete. So this is called as law of segregation. It is also called as first law of Mendel. And on the basis of this, it is also called by two another names. First one is called as law of purity of gametes. Law of purity of gametes. What do you mean by that? So whenever the two things are present here, capital T and small t, so they have come as capital T gamete here, small t gamete here. When they come and they have fused and they form the organism, whether they have lost their purity, no, it will never, they will never lose their purity. But when they separate to form the gametes, capital T comes as a pure capital T gamete and small t comes as a pure small t. So this is called as law of purity of gametes. And another rule is also made by Mendel, that is the law of dominance. Law of dominance. What is law of dominance? So when the two contrasting characters are crossed in the plant, only the dominant character is expressed in the F1 generation and recessive character is suppressed during the F1 generation. This is called as law of dominance. This is called as law of dominance. And the most important thing is, of course, we have observed the monohybrid cross, we have observed the dihybrid cross, everything, and we have so many others. They started questioning Mendel. Okay, the parental tall plant, homozygous plant I am telling, because already you know what is homozygous. There are two types of tall plants are available. One is plant which is having capital T, and another plant which is explained by Mendel in the F1 generation, that is the hybrid plant, that is called as capital T, small t. We call it as a heterozygous plant, hybrid plant. But Mendel says this is capital T, parental tall plant is capital T, and the F1 tall plant is small t, capital T, small t. Okay, but so many scientists, they started arguing with Mendel that whether this plant is having capital T, this is having capital T, small t. Are you sure? So for that, Mendel has a golden idea, very good idea, in order to prove whether the F1 plant is a capital T or small t. So in order to prove or in order to verify the genotype of the F1 tall plant, he conducted one cross, what is called as very important test cross. This is very important, test cross. What is a test cross? We have to define. Test cross means it is the cross conducted between F1 hybrid and the recessive parental plant. Okay, I'll repeat once again. Test cross is a cross conducted between the F1 hybrid and the parental recessive, double recessive plant, parent. Okay. What is that? F1 tall plant crossed with dwarf plant. Of course, double recessive only. So this is capital T, small t, and this is small t. Okay. And this is producing capital T, small t, and this is producing only one, because both two types of homozygous is there, so we can take only one. So now we are putting the checkerboard. Checkerboard is very simple here. So we have to call now capital T gamete here, small t gamete here, and only small t gamete here. So here multiply capital T, small t, small t, small t. Okay. So now the tall is to dwarf. Here they appeared in 1:1 ratio. 1:1 ratio. Now, by doing so, Mendel proved that the genotype of the F1 hybrid is not capital T, it is capital T, small t. Because if it would have been capital T, there is no possibility of getting dwarf plant. So all plants would have been tall, just like the monohybrid cross. So because of this result, Mendel finally proved that the F1 hybrid, the hybrid plant is tall, morphologically or phenotypically, but genotypically it is not the homozygous, it is heterozygous. So with this, I will complete my first class here, and if you have any doubt, any clarification, you can contact me anytime, and you know my phone number, you can note down 944882180. So this is my mobile number. So anytime you can contact me and get your difficulties clarified, and good luck. Have a nice time. Thank you.